All right, so I think the recording thinking about things ready to go though. So hello everybody, Mega ZardX here, back at it again to give y'all a very special podcast episode because this is officially going to be the very last episode of the year, even though we had the live stream one. In classic traditional fashion, I had to have the holiday special, the ZardCast Holiday special. That's the one that we have to end off the year with every single year. And with this one, it's just pretty relaxed. So I don't know how long this one's gonna run, but it's not gonna be like the traditional, almost 2 hour long podcast though. But we're just gonna go through a normal spill of things like how we do every year. We're just gonna talk about our yearly traditional holiday stuff that we might typically do. Also, we're just gonna kind of go throughout and just cherry pick a few things that might have just happened throughout the year, gaming wise, that might have been somewhat noteworthy. Like remember how we had the Switch 2 dropping this year and stuff like that. We'll have a more in depth of the whole entire year with some future podcasts to come for my year-end reviews part 1 part 2 in January. But we're just cherry picking, we'll just do a few things like that, and then whatever else we kind of just feel like talking about. This is going to be a very chill and very laid back holiday special though. But Steven, how's it going, man?
It is going good. Just doing my finishing touches on preparing for Christmas.
All right, so speaking of Christmas, at the point of this recording, I think we're like a few days off from it happening and stuff. You managed to get all your gifts and stuff, like you weren't like late second scrambling on your stuff.
No, I got the last of it today. I have two things coming tomorrow for my dad, but then it will all be done because I kind of did it in waves, depending on I did my first wave when Black Friday started. I did my second wave during Cyber Monday, and then I kind of did my third wave after the dust settled when I actually went into stores to go get some stuff.
Okay,
But I did
cool.
most of it online. I got all my family stuff first. Got them each like one big gift and like a couple small gifts. Like I want to have some stuff to put under the tree. I don't want it to just be like the one big thing and that's it.
Oh yeah, I
And
guess
then
when your family's a little smaller, you kind of like enough to fill up the tree where the tree don't feel naked. Like you know what I
but then
mean?
yeah, but then I kind of go a little overkill. I'll see something and I'll be like, I already got him a gift, but yeah, he really like it. So I ended up getting my dad like two big things. My stepmom two other big things, and I got my brother a Switch 2.
Oh, so he's gonna finally
Well,
have his own one, so he can't just hop on yours no more.
he doesn't ever hop on mine, but he has a Switch 1 that he plays a lot.
Okay. You get the Mario Kart World bundle one.
Yeah, I got the when it
Okay.
went on sale in
Oh,
Walmart
when
when
it
it went
went on
on
sale for
sale.
the 450.
Yes,
Oh, okay. You capitalized. All right.
I
That's
did.
all
Yeah, no,
right.
I got a good deal, I'd say.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that bundle's not gonna be around anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And at least for me, I was kind of like in the same boat as you. I went through and knocked out a lot of my stuff around Black Friday ish, and a little bit around Cyber Monday. But get this, it's like in classic fashion. I don't know if a lot of people are out there like this, or is it just a me thing? But when Black Friday and stuff comes up, and I hadn't even talked about the hauls and stuff I managed to get from Black Friday. Like I hadn't even talked about it in previous podcasts because I think we were off on 1 week with the way how the holiday stuff fell with Thanksgiving and stuff though. But in classic fashion, when you see them Black Friday sales go up, you're like, you know what? I know good and well because maybe the cost or whatever it is that you're looking at, or just, how people may or may not know everything or what you may personally want or need. You're like, this looks good. No one's going to get me this. This is a really good deal. Shoot. And I would love to get this during the middle of the year, but it would have been way too expensive then. So in classic fashion, I bought like a handful of stuff before I even started buying the actual Christmas gifts and stuff. I picked up, and I told you about this, but I hadn't put it on the channel nothing. For the longest time, I never had like a TV that was able to do like 4K anything. So like I was playing my PS5 and stuff, 1080p resolution. I've been rocking
Got
that
it.
mess for like since 2020.
That's crazy to me. Like I genuinely don't know how you do it.
I don't know. I mean, when you just been like that, like I guess like HD, like I've been rolling with that mess ever since like what the Wii U, and I just hadn't upgraded or changed nothing.
Well, no,
Eh,
10 it works. It's fine for like Switch, but like PS5, like some of those games, especially like Astrobot you played, that game makes all the difference with that upgraded res.
Yeah, so I was like, and with the Switch 2 being, in 4K and stuff like that, and you're starting to get some games that will actually have like 120 hertz modes like Metroid Prime 4, I was like, okay, I now have a really strong incentive to upgrade this TV versus the PS5, which I could have done it for that, but I was like, whatever. So they had like the Samsung TV that they were normally selling for like $2,000. And they actually marked that thing all the way down with Black Friday and Cyber Monday, all the way down to $900. So I was like, hold up. I was like, I put that thing on order. I was like, I'm getting in the car. It was like 120 hertz enabled and everything, a OLED at that. I was like, hold up, I'm getting in the car now. I'm going over here to Best Buy. So I managed to get myself that, and then so I
You
consider
got
that
an
as like
amazing deal.
I consider that as like my birthday gift or whatever, because it was kind of mid-November ish.
Oh, trust me, I treated myself to a couple things. Cause what's the point of money if you can't spend it?
That's why I'm like, I usually spend more in November, December. The other 10 months of the year, I'm holding on to it pretty tight. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, so I
Yeah.
got myself that, and then I remember I really wanted to have a tablet last year, just a standard old tablet, stuff that you do on your phone, but just on a bigger screen and stuff. Something that's just nice, easy, and convenient. You can just kind of whip out and then not have to worry about pulling out your whole laptop or whatever though. So I managed to pick myself up the Samsung S11 Ultra. Basically, it's the newest brand of Samsung tablets, but it's the Ultra, so it's like the bigger version of it though. I think it's the Samsung S11 Ultra. But yeah, that's what I managed to get to. So I've been rocking that out. And those have been like the big marquee gifts I gifted myself. And then I was like, okay, I gotta chill. And then I started getting all my other gifts for everybody else. So at the moment, I'm pretty good, except for one more person. But I think that one last person I gotta get for my cousin, it's probably gonna be a digital thing, just considering how it is though. But yeah, that's what I did for my Black Friday stuff, and as well as some gifts and stuff. Didn't buy a lot of video games because backlog's a little crazy as it is already.
There's there was also hardly any good sales on games. If you want me to be completely honest, like the deals kind of sucked this year for games. Like it was like sports games and shit.
Sports games, if you're a sports fan, there were some good deals, like at least like 50% off on the, I don't know if it was like the NBA or the Madden or,
Well, they're all the fucking same.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but it was like one of those, or FIFA. It was like 50% off. I was like, if you're one of them kind of people, yeah. I mean, you had some good deals, but generally, I usually pick up a handful of stuff for Black Friday. I don't think I picked up not one game for Black Friday, and that's saying something.
Yeah, at least for me, like I usually at least pick up one or two. I don't remember if I did. I might have gotten something on the Steam sale.
No, I didn't get
I
anything
know
over there.
it's not for Black Friday, but I just recently got Red Dead Redemption on Switch 2.
Hmm. Okay.
And that game, yeah, I'll just talk about it real quick. I played a little bit of it earlier. That game's really fun. Like I don't know if you've played Grand Theft Auto, right?
I dabble with five a little
Yeah, it's
bit.
basically Grand Theft Auto, but you're like a cowboy,
See, I feel like
which
there
is
could that could be a lot of draw to it, and I feel like I probably should sit down and at least play either the first one or the second one at some point.
the
It,
first one. It looks really nice on Switch too. I think if you ever, it's $25 right now. If you do get it on Switch too. It has
25.
60 FPS too. They just recently did a
Oh, like the
thing
Switch
for
2
it.
dedicated
Yeah,
version.
and it's
Yeah.
like it's got like a lot of story to it. Obviously, like it's a I was riding around on a horse while like they were explaining stuff.
Okay. Not
Like
too bad.
it's a fun game. I'll tell you that right now. I played a little bit of it today. I definitely plan on making that like the next big game I play.
Hmm. All right.
Because like there's really nothing else right now. I beat Prime 4 the other day, and I did not plan on replaying it yet.
Oh, speaking of Metroid Prime 4, since the last podcast episode, I managed to beat it as well. Obviously, we won't say anything about spoilers, though, but all I will say is that was certainly a game. They made some decisions in that game that I felt like it was padded to there and back. And I know I have another friend I know from college who was really looking forward to this game, like some of the rest of y'all in our little Discord chat and whatnot. And I was like, I got to talk to him at some point just to see where his thoughts align up on this. And I know he's going to hear this in the pod a little later on, though. But I'm like, gosh, we waited how many years, Steven, for this game? 8 years? And I was
Yeah.
kind of excited for when this game got first announced because, mind you, when this game first got announced way back in, oh gosh, 2017,
Yes.
that was at the same point when we also got Samus Returns revealed. We had Samus Returns and Metroid Dread before we even had Metroid Prime 4 even come out. And that's saying a lot right there. And I'm like, oh, goodness. But yeah, the Metroid hype was through the roof with me, and I was like, oh, I never really messed around with a 3D Metroid. Maybe this could be the one to pull me in. And honestly, it just shut the door on me. I don't know how to feel about 3D Metroid. I love Samus as a character. Don't get me wrong. It's just the way how they kind of handle this thing, though. And I don't know. Maybe something about when you work on a game for too long, it won't ever live up to the hype or the expectations that you might have in line with something. Doesn't necessarily
It's
have to
just
be with a game. It could be a movie or anything else, to be honest, though. But
it's
yeah.
just trying to be three different games, and it doesn't necessarily excel at any of them.
Mm.
That's really the bulk of the issue. Is it's trying to be a Zelda game, it's trying to be a Metroid game, it's also trying to be like a linear shooter, like you're like
And
a
I
Doom
didn't have
Eternal or
and I didn't
something.
have a problem with it being Zelda at moments. It was the bloatedness of what they did in certain parts of the game. That's what really ticked my nerve up on this game. I was like, I just can't. I don't know. I
I
already
totally get you.
I
I
put the
totally get
game in the case, and I ain't messing with it no more. I'm done. I'm moving on to the next thing. Speaking on moving on to the next thing, I think right now in terms of games, we might as well go ahead and talk about other games we've been playing. Or you kind of brought it
you.
up with Red Dead a little bit though,
Yeah.
but since I just wrapped up with Metroid Prime 4, I think next up in my little backlog list, I gotta go circle back around to Pokemon Legends ZA. I got a little bit spoiled on some of those Mega Evolutions, a little bit,
Sorry.
not too much, thanks to you. Yeah, and I saw a few things, but I hadn't seen everything in the game, and somehow I'm kind of surprised how I hadn't seen every single new Mega Evolution yet. So I'm like, dang, I don't know how, but if I hadn't got spoiled yet, I ain't gonna get spoiled now though. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna work on next. Do you know how long it roughly takes to go through that DLC or no?
No, I
Hmm.
know. You want me to be completely honest with you? I know nothing about the DLC. I literally
Huh.
do not know a single thing about the DLC.
Okay. Outside of just the general stuff of you going into the hyperspace stuff, and there's like this one child of somebody with the hoopa and all of that. That I mean that's the greatest extent I know. So I got to figure it out
Yeah,
myself.
like literally, I know nothing about like this quote unquote story. I know which Pokemon is relevant to the story, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
Mm,
that's it.
okay. But yeah, so I think that's next up on the bucket list for me. And then after that, I think I gotta go back and finish up Legend of Zelda: Age of Imprisonment because I could play. Gosh, how many hours? I felt like between 5 and 7 before I guess Kirby came out and I dabbled with it a little bit, but oh no. But I think a lot of my time was still going into at the time Ghost of Yotei. And it just got shelved, and I knew I was gonna circle back around to it at some point. So I don't think it'll take me too long to get through the DLC for Pokemon. But then after that, I got to finish that game up because I like what I was playing within the game. I just got to finish this thing out.
Yeah, Age of Imprisonment I had fun with, but it's not really the type of game I could like grind all the time. It's like I don't know. Yeah, I was having fun, but like I just don't see it going anywhere. It just feels like it's gonna be like the most predictable fucking thing
Well,
ever.
I'm kind of interested. Oh shoot! I was about to say something, but I guess that's technically spoilers. I mean, with the new character. Well, this one is
They
known.
revealed that. They
I mean,
revealed the
no.
new character.
I mean, the new character. Yes, the adversary to the new character that looks similar to it. That's all I will say.
No, they
You know.
haven't.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if
they haven't.
you know what I'm talking about. I find that to be interesting, something that we hadn't really seen at all play out in Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm kind of curious to see how that all plays out. I mean, that's probably the main draw. But other than that, like I don't really mess around with Hyrule. I'm not Hyrule. I don't really mess around with warrior style games unless they're like crossovers like this. So your Hyrule Warriors, your Fire Emblem Warriors, and whenever they did the thing with like Persona 5 Strikers, that's what it is. Yeah. So anytime it has a collaboration with it, then I'm all here for it. I just like the better storytelling and stuff like that. But the storytelling is a lot better in this versus Tears of the Kingdom. I'll say that much though. I do like the cutscenes; they're pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think outside of that, that's mostly it on the Switch 2 side of things. Was there anything else outside of Red Dead Redemption you were doing on the Switch 2, or you just kind
Um,
of chilling?
Let me just pause and look. I've been playing Fortnite. They had a new season going on, which has been fun. I've just been going on once in a while. Tried out Final Fantasy VII Remake's demo. Runs pretty good in handheld mode. I haven't tried it in docked yet. Besides that, I've been going back and playing a lot of games. I've been, I went back, played a little bit of Mario Kart World ever since they did the custom items update. That custom items update is pretty fun. I've been having more fun with that game. Um, Metroid Prime 4 made me want to go back to other Metroid games. So actually, right now I'm playing Metroid Dread, just in the background.
For like the 12th time.
Yes, I fucking
Mm.
love it. I could play this game forever. But that's besides the point. Either way, um, I played a lot of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I'm probably gonna play some more Donkey Kong Bonanza in a little bit, honestly, because they're doing a new event. If it isn't obvious, Donkey Kong Bonanza is undoubtedly my game of the year.
All right, so I can't give any spoilers in terms of like, because in traditional classic fashion on the
Yes,
channel, I have to do my game of the year contenders. So I usually will pick like my top 3 game of the years, and then I'll do like maybe 2 honorable mentions or whatever. So I won't say anything about that yet, but I will say that was a personal highlight for me this year. Take with it as you will with the wording and stuff. I ain't trying to give it away, but um dog, that was truly a game right there for Nintendo. I think probably out of everything that Nintendo has put out this year, and we're talking about everything. Like, remember in not January, I think it was March, we had Xenoblade Chronicles X came out. Gosh,
kind of
January we
forgot
had
that. I
yeah,
kind of forgot that the Xenoblade X thing came out
yeah,
this
and
year.
then even
It wasn't bad.
January we had Donkey Kong Country Returns come out. Like that's how I was about to say. I almost forgot about that one too. I was like, we had 2 Donkey Kong games come out this year, but out of everything, you talk about Switch 1 releases and including the Switch 2 exclusives, or if they had like dual releases like Pokemon Legends ZA and stuff like that. Donkey Kong Bonanza was definitely that key highlight. Look, I've been waiting for this dude to come back since 2014 when Tropical Freezes came out back. And I was fully expecting a 2D game, wasn't expecting a 3D one, and for them to come out swinging like this, that's just absolutely insane. And that finale, gosh dang it, I really want to talk about it, but my statute of limitations on this channel is 1 year. Y'all got one
Also,
year. So basically, when June comes back around, if we happen to bring it up in conversation, we'll talk about it, and I'll be like, look, that's it. But right now, y'all still got time, because I hope Steven,
Zard,
they don't do nothing weird like with Mario Kart World and stick a certain character up in there, and then if you hadn't played it and got to the end of
I,
the game, that'd be something.
well, I was just about to say, there's a chance that Nintendo themselves reveals details about it.
Now, if they do that, then
We'll talk
then
about
then
it.
we'll talk about it at that point. But until they do, we'll hold the cards to our chest. Because I actually know the friend I was talking about earlier, he hadn't gotten to the very end of this game. And I know he listened to all my pod episodes. So if I were to say it and he got spoiled, he'd be upset. But I'm like, oh, dog. But yeah.
It's a good game. That's okay. All I can say, Zard, is that I don't want to gush about Donkey Kong for 2 hours because I could. You very well could. I actually did speedruns of that game, and I at one point was top 50, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but this is basically the next Mario Odyssey in a way
Yeah,
with the speedrunning community. The It's crazy, Zard. I don't know how long it took you to beat the game. These speedrunners just put together a best theoretical time using the fastest runs of every single person, and the game can be beaten in just under an hour.
that's crazy.
And they also found a way to fly using an exploit to infinitely turf surf and fly on stuff.
Mm,
It's a lot. They cracked Donkey Kong Bonanza wide open. It is an amazing game in general, but then it's also just a really fun speedrun game. So in my opinion, it's the best of both worlds. I got a really fun, let's just be honest, it is a 3D Mario. Like it is a 3D Mario at its heart.
yep. This is what
I don't
happens
have
when
a
you
problem with
mix
that.
Donkey Kong, Mario, Hulk
And
Ultimate Destruction, and what was the other one?
I don't know. It really does feel like
There was
what if
something else. There
Wario
was
got
something
another
else.
3D game, especially with how you're collecting gold and smashing stuff. It could have been a Wario game, and I would have totally
Oh,
breezed
and
it.
then a little bit of Breath of the Wild because just how big some of these areas are. That's what a lot of people were saying. It's like a little Zelda, Mario, obviously DK at the roots, and then you put some Hulk Ultimate Destruction, and that's what you got with Donkey Kong Bonanza.
It's a
Amazing game.
amazing game. I can't talk more about it. All I can say is that they did the DLC for it, and the DLC definitely should not have been $20. Guess what? Still really fun.
Yeah.
I've been having fun with the events they've been doing. They're actually bringing back tons of characters through statues that I would have never expected. You know, this week actually, Zard, they're bringing back characters from Jungle Beat.
Oh gosh. Oh,
And
that's
then
interesting.
for the next event, they're doing characters from Tropical Freeze.
Hmm. Okay.
I don't know. I just think it's very interesting. They're going through basically every Donkey Kong game, pulling out like all the deep cuts for like these statue characters. Like it really does show that the 3D Mario team they know their stuff. Like they just put so much love and effort into making these games for the fans. You know they know what they're doing. They want to like honor the series. It really does feel like a celebration of the entire Donkey Kong series. And without saying much, I am very excited for this franchise's future.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for it too. I really am. And it's kind of crazy because that game came out in July, and you know rewind the clock back just a little bit more in June. We got to mention this at least in this episode because it's crazy to think almost half a year ago. It's almost been half a year. We've been having the Switch 2 in our hands for about 6 months, and gosh, it's kind of crazy to think that that did come out 6 months ago, and I can still remember that midnight launch as if it was like yesterday. And I was like, oh gosh, that I can't remember what the last midnight launch I had before that. It must have been some kind of Pokemon game or something prior to it though, because I didn't even do a midnight launch with the original Switch One though. But man,
I
that
did.
was truly a special moment right there. Like I remember we were all in our Discord calls. I remember the lines were wrapped all the way around my freaking Best Buy and stuff like that. Oh
So
man, crazy.
I have a funny story with mine. Okay, so with mine, I got there about 2 hours early because I knew it was gonna be like bad, obviously. But I got kind of lucky because actually got on the pre-order line, which was a lot shorter than the line that did not pre-order. There was about 10 people in the pre-order line. Okay, and we were like talking. One of them had their 3DS, and they were like trading Pokemon with someone else online. Another person was just kind of hanging out, like playing. They had like a tablet, and all of their friends were like playing Monopoly on it. It was a really fun experience on the line. I went to the front of the line, and I was just talking with the people about like what was their game, what's the game they're looking forward the most to, what's their favorite Nintendo game. We were just talking a lot. We had a lot of fun, honestly, online, and just talking about the Switch 2 in general, talking about the hype cycle, talking about like stuff we've seen about Mario Kart. I had a lot of fun on that line, and then there was obviously the whole thing of, like I said, there was the pre-order line that only had about 10 people on it, so it was a relatively fun experience. And then the line that was for the people that did not pre-order, that were just trying to go first come first serve, was extremely long, wrapped around Best Buy. There was a guy that had a projector set up. He was watching movies. He had
You
a
know,
whole ass giant projector set up. Zard, can you believe
he
that?
must have been camped out for a while.
He was there for 24 hours apparently.
Oh gosh, that's too much. That's
But you
too.
want to know the good thing? Apparently, the store had enough. The store had more than enough switches. Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah, because mine did too. They had them all stacked up on the pallet and stuff like that. I wish they would have had a pre-order line because I remember I had to stay and at least go through half of the line before I got to the front of the building from the side. And then they were walking down and say, "Oh, you have a pre-order. All right, then you can skip all the rest of these people. Come up straight to the front." That's kind
Yeah,
of
no,
how
they
mine was handled.
at least at mine they only let 4 people in at a time.
But yeah, it was
But
like something like that, similar to us. Like if you were regularly buying a Switch too, then it was like a handful of people, no more than like five, I think, in the
yeah,
store at a
it
time.
was it was really nice, honestly, because like they let you in and then they have all the games, and while you're in there, you could choose to buy extra stuff.
Yeah,
It was like a really fun experience. So while I was in there, I could just be like, "Oh, do I want to get this as well? Do I want to get this? Do I want to get this?" I ended up getting a case and a screen protector, and I think I picked up a code for Fast Fusion, which great game by the way.
yeah.
And besides that, um, I had a fun experience, and then I just got out and I left, and they were getting people out kind of slowly. Honestly, they were probably there till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, and I remember even getting home with the system when I finally had it, and oh gosh, this is the first time in an extremely long time. I stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning just to try to get all my stuff set up, downloaded, all of that stuff, so I could really be ready to go with the system. Trying out a whole bunch of stuff the next day though, but man, you talk about some insane an insane rush that can keep your momentum going up. Because shoot, nowadays it gets 11, 12 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm about ready to go to bed though. But that's probably like the last time I could probably go to a midnight launch, come back and stay up that much later. Outside of probably just hitting the hay immediately when I get back though. But no, yeah, Switch 2 has been great. I've been liking all the features and stuff like that. It was kind of weird how we had that weird limbo period. Remember that, Steven? Like between once Bonanza came out and before Pokemon Legends ZA, people were like, "Oh gosh, where'd all the games?" With the announcements and stuff. It was kind of weird until we hit October, and then we just got hit with like game after game after game after that.
Yeah, no, we had what Age of Imprisonment, Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4, all within the span of a month, and then there was probably something else I'm forgetting.
And then Pokemon
Either way,
Legends ZA, but yeah,
it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff, and you know what? It definitely made things a little bit more interesting. But Age of Imprisonment got left in the dust because I've been playing a ton of Air Riders.
yeah. I think me and you are
Um,
gonna be like the reverse flip of that whenever I do get back around to it. But yeah,
yeah, no, well, yeah, we've been playing Air Riders like me, Yoshi, a couple other people. And City Trial's been really fun.
yeah.
Just because, just this giant chaotic kind of like Smash. It's kind of like playing Smash with items, but like more fun.
Hmm. Okay.
Either way, though, um, the Switch 2 in general has been a very big topic on this podcast for probably the last 50 episodes. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. You
So
kept trying to bring it up. I tried to bring it up only when it was noteworthy, but then obviously once we had the actual confirmation and stuff, and it was like, all right, it's really trying to pick this up.
once 2023 hit, we were like, all right, where's the goddamn Switch Pro? And then 2024 hit, and then we were like, okay,
No,
where's the
that's why I was telling y'all the Switch Pro ain't real. I was like, they moving on.
Zard? It was definitely real
No, no,
as
no. I said it's not real anymore. I mean,
yeah.
let me rephrase it though. At one point, I'm pretty sure it was real, and they were gonna do it, but then 2020 happened, chip shortages and stuff like that, and then I think that just flipped it completely on its head.
Yeah, there was a lot of complications that must have happened and a lot of speculating we did. And I'm just happy that I got what I wanted. I got my 3D Donkey Kong game, which is what I wanted. I expected 3D Mario, I wanted 3D Donkey Kong, and I got it. And guess what? It's basically a 3D Mario anyways.
Yeah,
So, I got my game that I wanted, and you know what? It's looking, let's be honest, we're gonna get a 3D Mario probably next year or the year after.
I
So
say
like,
year after.
yeah, there's a lot of like it's kind of difficult. Nintendo's in a weird spot because all of their big games are kind of on the back burner. I gotta admit, we're not getting a Zelda for a while. Tears of the Kingdom was not even two. It was a little over 2 years ago. We're not getting a new Zelda till like 2028, 2029 at this point,
Yeah,
unless Nintendo's really speeding things up over there. And then, otherwise, 3D Mario, I could see as early as next year, in the holidays. That's the earliest I could see that. Gen 10, Pokemon Gen 10 is going to be a big one. That's definitely coming next year. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to next year. And then there's also stuff for those niche fans. You got Rhythm Heaven, Fire Emblem, Tomodachi Life. I think it's going to be a really fun year, for the Switch and Switch 2, obviously. I definitely think Nintendo's gotta announce something, just that one big game to get people excited. Because like so far, it's a good lineup, but it's not really like gonna get sales going. Especially for what is touted as isn't it the fastest selling console ever? I'm sure
yeah. It
Nintendo.
was right out the gate. Yeah, it had a pretty good strong running up outside the gate. I remember I had a Twitter post or something like that literally had every single thing that was supposed to come out for the Switch or Switch 2. next year, and I'm trying to pull that up because you're kind of downplaying a little bit. When I look back at that list, and this is before you even consider third party games on top of it, it's a stupid amount of
Well,
games.
I'm interested in what's going on with the Duskbloods because that game could be interesting. Because
Uh,
that game, it's probably just gonna be like the spiritual successor to Bloodborne, which I've never played, but I've played all the other Souls games, so I'm sure it's the type of game I would like.
yeah.
Either way, though, there's a ton happening, and even just if we're talking about 2025, I'd say this year wasn't the best year for gaming, but like I had games that I liked. It wasn't, it wasn't no 2017. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And especially if we look at the Game Awards that just happened, they're all attached to the Expedition 33, and I haven't played it. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Who knows? Honestly, the gaming industry is probably gonna actually decline a bit. I don't know if you remember seeing this. In terms of holidays, like during the holidays, uh, like spending on video games was the lowest it's been since the 90s.
I think it was since 1995, if I remember the year right. That's kind of crazy because I think they said something about hardware overall sold about 1.5 million, and that's between PS5, which was already on like $100 sale, Switch 2, which is the new hottest system on the market, that silly old whatever the heck that
It's
Kia,
it is the NEX Playground, and it's
yeah, that
actually
playground thing. Like what the
it's
freak?
it's funny. Xbox is being beaten by a device that's basically the Kinect. Oh, how the fucking
Yeah,
turntable.
Connect for kids basically, and it's like what the heck? And then all the Xbox consoles, and I was like, I mean, I talked about this before on the pod about how there could be a gaming crash. I mean, we were thinking just with the balloon and budgets that might be part and play with it, but you put that in the combination with the weird stuff that's happening with AI and stuff, and how that's making computer parts like memory stuff go up. They, I mean, it very well could happen again. I'm just saying.
Either way, like I definitely, yeah. Who knows what's gonna happen in the future for people that haven't gotten it yet? Obviously, for all us people that already have consoles, we have nothing to worry about. We already have it. And I don't think the games are going to slow down because the hardware is getting more expensive. It's just going to be an unfortunate situation for everyone if prices go up for the system, which could happen. I think Xbox is dead in the ditch though. They already don't care. They already don't want people to buy their consoles. That's why they're doing this whole "This is an Xbox" campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Xbox is already dead in the ditch. No one's buying the actual Xbox consoles, and they're still making things more expensive, and they're still laying off how many employees. We we've been basically talking this whole year about how Xbox is gonna fucking die, and I think next year they're gonna get another big round of layoffs. I don't want it to happen, obviously, but like I don't know.
Yeah, that could
I
very
feel like
well
if
happen.
if there is an equivalent to a gaming crash, Xbox will be the first to go. PlayStation will be the one that gets all those third parties day one. Obviously, it's the more powerful option, and then Switch 2 is gonna obviously be around getting all the Nintendo exclusives.
Yeah.
But like, there's no reason to get an Xbox compared to a PlayStation. So like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
either get a PC or get a PlayStation. No reason to ever get an Xbox now.
And
And
and speaking of
what's that?
those Nintendo exclusives, I finally found that tweet. Just to remind everybody, this is what we got on the docket for like the first half of next year. Because like remember January 15th, and that's like right around the corner. You had that Animal Crossing Nintendo or Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 edition that comes out with the free update. February 12th is Mario Tennis Fever. March 5th is Pokemon Pokepia. Spring, yeah, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Also, spring, Super Mario Brothers Wonder 2 Switch Edition. Hopefully, some good stuff comes out of that. Also, spring, you got Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. And then, some point in 2026, don't know when it will happen, Rhythm Heaven Groove. And my personal highlight, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Oh man, we're gonna be back, baby. Yeah, that's the game. That's my highly anticipated game for 2026
Yeah,
right there. And then
but
possibly Splatoon Raiders that year as well. There's no definitive year, but I'm thinking they gotta put that game out that year.
there's a huge holiday shaped hole there, though. Definitely.
I mean, yeah,
So
basically everything post second half, like they could still squeeze in 2 or 3 more games for the second half of that year. Because most of
like
those games, I think, had all the way from like January to spring. The only things that could be technically considered second half, even if the game were to come out July, like Fire Emblem, even if it happened to come out in the middle of summer, that's only one, maybe another game with Rhythm Heaven Groove, and maybe one with Splatoon Raiders. You still got to at least have 3 or 4 more games for the second half of that year.
yeah, like
So,
I was just gonna say, like, think about it like this: Fire Emblem, Mario Tennis, and Yoshi. Those are not system sellers on their own. They are, however, great companion pieces to people that will be getting the console next year.
oh, but we know Pokemon Gen 10 is coming out next year though too, because it's time
I
for
don't
them
think
to do
that's
that.
it.
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't think that's
that's
it.
part of it, but not like Nintendo, like what would be considered a Mario or a Zelda equivalent. Yes, that wouldn't be it. But Pokemon
Yeah,
is a system seller, just like how ZA did with this year. That is going to be a second half of the year game. Obviously, will come out around November, but typically there's always going to be a Zelda game that comes out, and it is Zelda's 30th, not the 30, no, 40th. I think it's their
40th.
40th anniversary next year. So I'm fully expecting something Zelda related, kind of like how
Well,
they did some stuff already with Mario that we already know.
I think the next Zelda game will be announced next year, if that means anything. I think it will be announced. Whatever they're working on, because if you think about it, 2017 Breath of the Wild came out, and then in E3 2019 they announced Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that tracks if they announce it if they announce it like another 2.5, 3 years later, and then it comes out like 2027, 2028. That probably tracks. Just, because I'm sure they just want to get it announced so people know it's coming. If you want my humble opinion, I'm going to hold firmly on the stance that 3D Mario will happen in either September or October next year, and then Gen 10 is going to be the double whammy for the holidays.
Hmm. Okay.
Because,
Right.
I don't think Nintendo's gonna do another Pokemon bundle for the holidays. Like they did ZA bundle, and I'm sure that did well. If you ask me, they're gonna do a 3D Mario bundle, and then they're gonna want people to buy Gen 10 at full price. Who knows though?
Yeah. Who knows?
I'm very excited for next year, and especially from the leaks. I'm not gonna talk about them, but the leaks for Gen 10 of Pokemon make me actually kind of maybe looking forward to it. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so I think we've been talking about Nintendo quite a bit. We'll probably circle back around to some other things though. That this is kind of we were just shooting some stuff off the wall, things we've been
Yeah.
playing, things we were expecting to see, things that we saw this year, and things what it is to come. But I do want to spin it over here a little bit. Obviously, I ain't got nothing to say about Xbox. So I mean, you kind of got the spill already. Like we think they're gonna fall out next year though, like the Fallout game. But outside of that, I did want to say a few things with PlayStation because I always like looking at my statistics that you get with like your year end wrap ups. And
Yeah.
it's weird how we got PlayStations, but we didn't get Nintendos. And I think they said Nintendos we're not gonna get that until January. I think. So it's
Something
gonna
stupid.
include the whole entire year. PlayStation's is kind of cool because it will update in real time all the way up until the end of the year, so you can kind of look at your numbers right now. So I would just kind of want to briefly talk about my numbers and stuff like that. And then as for you, Steven, I'm kind of curious about your stuff too. I'll drop the link in the Discord so you can see your numbers as well,
Wait,
though.
for PlayStation?
Yeah. I'm
I
curious
don't
because
think
I know you don't play as much as me, so I'm just kind of curious to see what the heck you've been
I
playing on that
I
console.
don't. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't have my login, and I don't think I played my PlayStation this year.
What the heck? Wait, so when you click that link, it says for you to log in.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't remember it. All I
What
know
the
is
heck?
that
Okay,
I don't think I played my PlayStation this year.
not even for. Well, I guess I was about to say even for Fortnite, but you use your PC now for that. Oh,
I
okay.
use Switch 2 for that. I've been
Oh,
playing
Switch too.
Fortnite on Switch 2.
Okay. Well, at least for me personally, in terms of my top 5 games, um, I'll start off at number 5. Number 5, I had Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. That clocked in around 19 hours. That was actually a really good game. I never really messed around with any Metal Gear Solid game before that with the remake and stuff. I could see why people love this series so much and why it's been like a strong talking point. I understand it and I get it. I hope they go through and touch more of the some of the other games, because there's only like 5 of them in the series or whatever. Well, 5 of the Metal Gear Solid games or whatever though. So I'm hoping they mess around with some of the other stuff as well. Sea of Thieves. I remember playing that with a group of our people in Discord and stuff like that. Like we were doing all of the stuff for, oh gosh, what
Pirates.
was, yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, the little crossover they did with that. We still need to get back around to it because I think we did like 3 out of what it's like almost 5 quests. Those quests are long. Like we're talking about between like an hour or two, depending on how fast you are with those puzzles. I was like, oh
Yeah, you guys
gosh.
seemed like you were having fun with it. I
No, we
never
were, and then
joined
and
for
then
like.
other games popped up, and we put it on the back burner. But we said, hey, maybe when the holiday season popped up, and people were chilling
It was like
again,
that.
maybe.
It was like that August September period. You guys were playing that.
Yeah. So yeah, I clocked in about 19 hours. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Next up, oh gosh, I forgot about this game. I don't know how. Tales of Arise for me came in at like number 3 with 26 hours. That's the game I had on the backlog. I was like, let me just go ahead and play this. I think I played in the first few months of this year, and I was like, huh, okay. I never actually got around to finishing it. I like the story, don't get me wrong, but it's like the combat kind of got stale over a period of time. I like the story. I might just look up and see how the story ends or whatever though. But I just kind of wanted to see why some people really love like the Tales series games or stuff. I can understand why. I like the characters and stuff. I just by the time it got a little bit stale, other things came out and I just kind of flipped ship or whatever. My number 2 was like Metaphor Refantasio. That was my game of the year of last year. I started playing part of it in the tail end of December, and then it flowed into the rest of January. So I finished the game up in January. So yeah, it clocked in 33 hours from this year, but then there was like 40 something that I might have logged in as December of last year though. But yeah, that's a phenomenal game. I already said enough on the channel on that. And then my number 1, it goes without saying. I told you this, Steven. I was looking forward to this as like a potential game of the year contender. Ghost of Yota. I clocked that in with like 44 hours or for that one. I thought I would have done more, but so many games came out in that October rush between like Switch 2 games, stuff like that. Shoot, I have gosh, what is it? I still have Ninja Gaiden 4 still sitting in my backlog over there for PS5 and stuff though. But yeah, overall, not a bad year for PlayStation, at least for me personally playing stuff. But the first party games, they're still kind of lacking in it in terms of like really strong. And then even looking into next year, Steven, what do we got? I know we got Wolverine, and then we got Saros. I'm excited for Wolverine. I think you're excited for Saros because it's
Yeah,
basically
no,
the other thing.
okay. I'm no, quite the contrary. Saros looks fucking boring to me. I liked Returnal, but like it just looks
Returnal,
like
yeah.
Returnal again. I don't know, it doesn't really look like anything that interesting either. Like I don't know, it doesn't really look all that amazing to me. Um, Wolverine I think's looking cool. I'm a fan of Marvel. I like some Marvel once in a while, which if there's some Marvel stuff also happening. We'll talk about that after if you want.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, Wolverine looks pretty cool to me. It's violent, which is good. It should be. Like that's the main thing. Is like okay, if you're gonna do a Wolverine game, you better not skimp on like the violence. Like he's got giant metal claws. You're really gonna make it like this extremely PG, like not killing anyone thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It looks good though. I'm happy about that. I'm sorry. It's like I don't have much to say about PlayStation, but like I'm trying with the stuff I do care about.
No, no, no. Yeah, I mean, first party wise, that's basically about it. I mean, that will probably be my own personal highlight for next year. It will literally be me just playing that, at least first party wise. Third party wise, there's a few games, and some of them now that the Switch 2 is a little more competitive, I'm kind of flipping the coin back and forth between whether or not I will get it on Switch 2 or whether or not I will get it on the PS5. Because part of it comes down to whether or not it's a game key card or not, where I really care about having it as a true physical, or I'm gonna just be content with it just being digital. But then also, oh gosh, it just dawned on me, Steven. This is probably the biggest bit of news that we probably had. Game key cards. There's been a company that actually said something where they literally were like, oh, originally we planned to have our game be a game key card, but thanks to Nintendo actually introducing two smaller, you know, cartridges sizes, we are actually now doing it as a true physical release. And since then, they reworded their post and actually took out the wording of Nintendo actually has two smaller sizes now or whatever though. So it seems like Nintendo's kind of addressing it for smaller games. But however, if your game's still bigger than 64 gigs, you're still going to see the game key card. So it's not like it's 100% going away, but you got
Stupid.
another alternative for some people out there. However, they did say because of the company that's making this move, because of it's still not necessarily cheap, but it might be cheaper than what it would have been otherwise with the 64 gigabyte cartridge. They were like, hey, it's gonna cost like 10. It's a European company, so I don't know if it was like 10 euros or 10
I thought it
pounds
was
more
like
or something.
$15. Yeah, it's like it would
Yeah,
cost $15, so like the
more.
game probably will be more expensive, like physical, which is also stupid. It's just stupid all around, man. Like, but like personally, I would be willing to pay the extra just to actually have a real copy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for me, it depends on the IP or whatever I'm playing. Like, if it's a third party game, I just never heard about it before. eh, Whatever. I probably want to be as willing. I might just get it digitally. That's kind of my rule of thumb. But if you're something like a Dragon Quest 12 and it costs a little bit more for you to get a true physical, I will pay that finally because I
Because
love
I
the
fucking
heck out
hate
of
game
Dragon
key
Quest
cards.
11s. Yes.
I still don't have them. I think I have Pac-Man World 2. I would have easily gotten Pac-Man World 2 physical if given the option, but Nintendo did not want my fucking money. And sucks for them honestly, right? Sucks to suck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say honestly besides like Nintendo hopefully seeing that people do not like this. That's the only explanation I have for why they're, changing it now.
Yeah, that's true. And so I'm hoping with those smaller file sizes, some of these third party games, I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna want to get them on. Maybe they can get a true physical because if not, then I got to figure out do I want a digital and switch to or do I pick it up truly physical on the PS5? Because some of those
Probably
other
PS5, honestly.
yeah, because some of these other third party games I was debating on getting, well, I'm probably am gonna get. It's just where I'm getting it. It would have been like Dragon Quest Seven reimagining. I'm looking forward to that. Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection. I want to get that. The 007 game, First Light. That's another one. And Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I want to get that at some point, and I could get it right now for the PS5. I'm kind of curious what that Switch 2 version will look like. So I don't know. I'm on the fence on that one though. But those are like the 3 to 4 games that I want to get that are third party. I don't know where I'm gonna get it at now. But with this little bit of interesting news with the key card stuff, it makes things a little interesting. A little interesting.
Yeah, personally, I always prefer getting my games on Switch 2 if it's a good version. If it, and then if I have to get it on PC, I'll get it on PC. That's why I was really pissed when Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was what was it again? It was like
Oh
fucking
gosh, when that game came
30,
out, it was like 30 FPS, and that was
which is
it. And
embarrassing. It's
then that's what
embarrassing.
kept me from buying it at launch, like right then and there. I kept playing whatever else I was playing, and then lo and behold, it was gosh, Steven, it was like 3 to 4 weeks after the game came out, and then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, here's the Switch 2 update." I was like, "Sign me up!" And then that's when I got it, and I played that phenomenal game right there. Gosh, and you still haven't beaten it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, come on,
I
Steven.
I played the first level and at 30 FPS and I was disgusted. Genuinely.
Uh,
Like it was genuinely horrible in 30 FPS. It felt so jarring. It didn't even feel 30 FPS honestly. So guess what? Like yeah, I wasn't really prepared. It's
Well,
like oh,
now
I'm
get
glad it's
prepared, man, and play this game.
yeah, I know. I'm glad they fixed it. I'm going to get to it eventually. There's a ton of games I plan on getting to. I'm going to beat Red Dead 2. I'm going to get back to Age of Imprisonment. There's a lot of stuff I have to do this year. New Year's resolutions is a whole nother thing that like I have a lot of that I got to do. Not
Mm-hmm.
even just related to gaming.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for next year. At least, I can hopefully enjoy the rest of this year. I've been just kind of sitting cozy the last few days. Yeah, we actually got some snow over here. I don't know if you guys ever get snow over there.
Man, I mean, we don't usually get our snow until like post January. Like rarely ever do
I
we get snow on December around or around like Christmas stuff. We'll circle back around to this because there's one more gaming thing I wanted to bring up, and then
That's
we'll
fine.
we'll just
I
go
I
to
actually
pop culture or the rest of the Christmas stuff.
I
But the one last thing I wanted to mention was man, my analog 3D. I had to bring this up again because
yeah, no, I
man,
get
that system has been working wonders for me. I kid you not. It's so nice being able to play N64 games on your HD TV without making no compromises and stuff like that. I can have it all up in the whole setup like that. I was supposed to release that video last Friday. Well, by the time I release this video, it'll be before Christmas. So it should have been out last Friday. I'm gonna get my act together. It should be out some point this week, hopefully, if nothing else happens though. But yeah, it would be my thoughts on the system though. But overall, I've been loving the heck out of this thing though. They got me with those color waves and stuff like that. I was like, man, I'm gonna get the controllers. I got the trans the fantastic ice blue one equivalent, and then I got the gold one, and I called it. And what you tried to get that watermelon one, the
yeah,
actual console,
I
but
if it was in stock, I would have gotten it that day.
mm,
So that's Analog's fault for not getting my money.
yeah, I don't know. The business is kind of shady with the practices of how they run the business, but the products itself, that it's solid, man. It's solid. They did a few updates here and there though. I'm kind of curious to see what else they might actually do, but that overclocking and the 32-bit color, like that's a major difference. What I noticed with my games, and if I were to go back and look on it on original hardware and stuff like that though, so that was the hitting Christmas gift right there though, because I ordered that mess a whole year ago. Gosh dang. All right, I think
Yeah, and
outs.
wait,
Oh
can I
what?
just say one more gaming thing? Like just
Yeah,
something that I bought. You got your Analog. I actually treated myself to something the other day. I don't know if you've heard of it. It is a new handheld device. It is called the AYN Thor.
that
It
name sounds familiar. I just had to look at,
Okay.
of an image of
If
it
you want,
though.
look up a picture quick while we're talking. It is basically a dual screen
Oh, the thing that
Android
looked like
handheld.
yeah, the DS or the 3DS. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
seen
I
that.
actually picked that up, and my batch will ship mid-January, so I can give thoughts on it like maybe two podcasts from now.
Okay.
And yeah, I looked up some videos. It looks really cool. Just has USB-C charging. Looks like it has good battery life, and it has enough power to play everything up to GameCube. Well, like GameCube and a little bit up pretty competently. Like it can play Wii U depending on the game with minimal issue.
Hmm. Okay.
I'm not sure how much I'll play Wii U. Let's be honest, but like either way, like the second screen means it's perfect for emulating DS and 3DS. Like,
I think that's the major draw for this system because yes, you can technically do it on your PCs, but because of the weird duality with the dual screens and stuff, the best way up until this point was really like you still had to play it with original hardware. There wasn't really like a way to kind of beat around the bush on that thing, no.
oh yeah,
But now that you got
and the,
some hybrid handheld PCs, or I said hybrid handheld PCs that got these two screens on it, like what you got now. I mean, now you can probably play it better with a higher resolution and stuff like that, but still have the form factor as if you're playing a DS or an actual 3DS. I'm just kind of
yeah, and then
wondering
there's
how like thick and
also
chunky that thing is going to be on the bottom part of that thing.
well, no, Zard, look at some pictures. It's actually quite comfortable and quite like it's a small form factor. It's maybe the size of a 3DS XL.
Yeah, and then I'm also looking at I guess like what it's like full analog sticks, but they're it's kind of like indented into the system, so that way you can still close the lid on it. And,
Yeah, it reminds me of it was something they released. I forget what it is. Either way, like it looks like it was quite comfortable, and it also looks like it will be just quite a cute little device to have. Like it looks like it's nice and what's I guess portable. I don't know.
mm,
I don't know what the word would be. It looks like I could actually fit this damn thing in my pocket and take it around with me. And to me, the nicest thing, the thing that made me like buy it, is that it's like an Android. So it's like it's not even confined to just being an emulator machine. It can basically be a de facto phone. I can play mobile games on this, at least specific ones. And since it's Android, you can download APKs, meaning that you can download anything on this thing. As long as someone has created like a mobile app for it, you can download it. Which I know doesn't mean that much to you, but that basically means this thing will be like the ultimate like modding machine. And obviously, just having the power that it does also does help Zard. This thing
Mm-hmm.
is quite powerful, like I said.
Yeah, I got a little
And
picture up on the TV now. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
and it has beautiful like OLED. It's OLED and 120 hertz screens for both of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that thing's gonna look awesome for playing games. I don't know how many games I'll actually play that are gonna be 120, but the OLED 1080p screen is gonna make basically anything I play on it look good.
Hmm. Not bad, not bad.
And I'm definitely I'll let you know how it is when I try it, because I'm definitely gonna try some stuff on it. The only thing I wish it was just a portable PC. Like I wish it was just a PC built into it, but like I'm sure that would be way more expensive. The model that I got is gonna have 16 gigabytes of RAM because they you can like choose which model you want. And I'll admit I treated myself. I spent a
Wait, okay.
decent amount of
That
money
was
on it.
the other thing was how much did you pay for this mess?
Okay, with tax and delivery,
No,
and
no,
I
no,
also
no.
got a
Pre-tax, pre-tax.
okay pre-tax. I think it's 429.
Oh gosh.
Zard, you
I
paid
know,
like
I know.
300 for the
I
analog.
was thinking it would have been cheaper than 300, or not cheaper. I was thinking it was going to be 300, but you said 429, and I was like, oof.
Yeah, because I got the pro model. The cheapest model's around 330.
Oh, okay.
I got the
Okay.
pro model that has better RAM and like probably better battery life and stuff on top of that. I got an accessories kit. Basically, it's a grip, it's a actual carrying case for it, a screen protector, and a couple other things. And after taxes and shipping, which I made sure to get priority shipping because apparently due to my address, I have two options. I either pick priority shipping and I get it within a couple days, or I pick the regular shipping and I get it like within a couple months.
Couple months. What
Well,
the
I don't know.
heck?
I don't know. It's like we can't guarantee a specific time compared to the other one. So no, I was like, no, that's bullshit. I'm not doing that.
How much more you have to pay on that shipping?
15 extra dollars. It's not
Oh, well, that's
terrible,
not. No, well,
honestly.
no, 15 is not
Especially for
bad.
how much I'm paying for the fucking thing. No, it's not bad at all.
Uh, okay.
Either way, to me, it doesn't matter because that's my Christmas gift to myself. It's like I'm not gonna be too picky when it's for me.
That's not bad. Well, you gotta let me know how it is, because I guess I mean obviously you'll be trying to run your DS and 3DS. I mean DS, I guess I know some emulators for that, but 3DS one like what? I mean the popular one I think was like Citra, but that's been
Yeah,
taken down. And I know there
there
might
are
still be
other
running some stuff,
options.
but I know there's other options. So I don't know. It's gonna be a field day for you.
Listen, Zard, I'm only gonna download the games that like actually are verified to run really well, and then obviously I'm gonna get Dolphin on there, and I am going to GameCube the hell out of that thing. GameCube, Game Boy, Game Boy. Think about it. With the OLED screen, they're gonna look nice. It's gonna be nice, nice pixel perfect.
Yeah, I guess if you want to take your GameCube games on the go, or wait, I guess you kind of can
Even
already do it,
anything
but
before
yeah.
that, like I'm just saying, Zard, anything before that will be on this nice small OLED pixel perfect screen.
Yeah, that's true.
I- I'm not even talking about like specifically you know, the 3DS games. I'm gonna play a lot more than just 3DS games on this thing.
Yeah, that's
I'm so excited for it. And then obviously even before that, I got myself a drawing tablet, like a nice better drawing tablet that I've been messing with. So tech and gaming wise, I'm set for a while. I'm not gonna upgrade my PC anytime soon. I was thinking about it because of the whole RAM thing, but I'm waiting.
no, yeah, you're gonna have to wait or bite the bullet now and suffer the consequences
Suffer the
later.
consequences of my wallet. You're right.
I mean, that's basically all you can do at this point, though, considering everything else. All right, let's see here. All right, anything else, or that was pretty much it?
That is all. I know I talked for a little bit. Thank you for listening to my rambling.
Oh no, that's good. We'll get some follow ups on some of that stuff later. But all right, yeah, that should basically do it. All right, so now, dang, I thought I could do some improv stuff on the fly. Oh no, that's not gonna work. I thought I could do some improv stuff on the fly, but maybe I'll get to it around a little later
Is
on
this
now.
is this struck from the record?
No, it's not struck from the record. I was trying
Okay.
to do stuff with the TV in the corner. Anyway, though,
Oh,
um,
okay.
ne- uh, we're basically gonna just talk about like the standard old Christmas related stuff now. Get into some holiday traditions as we try to close out this thing because Christmas is only a few days away, though. Um, I remember you said something about the snow thing. No, we don't ever get snow here before Christmas. I can't even say the last time we might have ever had a white Christmas. Shoot, you might have to go all the way back to like 2000 and gosh, I don't know if it's the 2010s. It might have been like the actual 2000s. Like we're talking about like 2007 ish, where I might have had a white Christmas. I might have only had like one or two in my life. Like, how many did you? Well, you live up in New York, so I feel like your odds of it happened a lot more.
Yeah, no, when I was a kid, we had a couple white Christmases. Recently, we had a rainy Christmas. We had a very sunny Christmas. Like, I'm not saying it's always perfect. Either way, though, this year I don't think we're gonna get snow on Christmas. But listen. Last year, the only snow we got was in February, so I didn't even get any during the Christmas season. Last week, I was actually able to go into my yard, and the snow was packing really good, and I was able to make a snowman with my brother. So I was happy. Okay,
Hmm.
like I was actually able to do all the stuff that you normally do around Christmas time,
Oh,
snowmans, this and that, and it was amazing. We had a lot of fun doing that.
that's not too bad.
But yeah, I felt like I was a kid again. I felt like I was a kid again, like making a snowman, hanging out in the snow with my brother. We had a good time, and winter has always been my favorite season, which I might have told you that. I love the winter so much.
No, yeah, winter is always a good time of a good time of year.
It's just got the best aesthetic.
Yeah. No, I always wish that it always would snow a bit more here. I think it usually would snow at least in the whole general sense of winter, two or three occurrences, and one of them you'd be lucky if one brings in like a good chunk. Because I'm just far enough down south where we can still get it, we just don't get a whole bunch of it. The most I think it ever snowed here was like 20 inches. It was like a bigger snowstorm event or whatever though. But I think that was like the most snow I've ever seen. We had a ice storm that was really bad, so bad where it knocked out the power and stuff to the house, or not power to the house. Thankfully, oh, we were still warm, but knocked out like where we could watch cable and stuff. So you had to literally watch nothing but like movies. Or at the time, that's when the Wii was out, so we are just playing nothing but like Wii games and stuff like that for a whole week. Like it was either that or like card games, board games, stuff like that, just to keep our ways and keep ourselves entertained. But yeah, that was pretty much it. But no, yeah, I like winter. Winter's a really cool season because I always like the holiday stuff and whatnot though. Oh yeah, and with it being the holiday season and everything, sweets. How's your sweets intake has been going?
Oh, so at my job, I have been indulging only like once a week. So let me know because they all think it's fucking weird. Okay, at my job, once in a while, I have a like on when I go on my break, I have a sweet bagel sandwich, or like an egg sandwich. I get scrambled eggs, okay, home fries. I get melted mozzarella cheese, and then I top it with cinnamon sugar and I melt chocolate chips into it.
Bro, you told me this so many times in our Discord chat. This is the first time it's public knowledge out there for everybody in the world to hear.
Well,
But
like the
oh my
chocolate
gosh,
chips
that's
is
that's
new.
that's
The
too much.
the chocolate chips is occasionally. Like I don't always do the chocolate chips, okay? So I thought you might want to know about that. But yes, the people at my job, they've been joking around and calling me Buddy the Elf because like there's that scene
Buddy
in
the Elf. Ah!
there's that scene in Elf where he like puts the syrup on the spaghetti or whatever because it's like he only likes things sweet or whatever. And like yeah, it was kind of funny. But like I had it again today. It's so goddamn good. It's not good for me at all, but it was so good. And then the other day, because my stepmom's side of the family they do Hanukkah, they got me a present. They got me a 3 pound container full of chocolate covered almonds.
Oh gosh, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Guess what? It's they're so good, dude. They're so good. My sweets intake this holiday is unparalleled, and I can't be any happier. It's so good. Obviously, it's not going to be good for me, but like I'm enjoying it right now.
Ooh, oh my goodness, that's too much, man. That is absolutely way too much.
Well, you asked about my sweets intake. Yeah.
Well, typically, at least for me personally, I normally will. There we go. Now I got a little nice little Christmas aesthetic background on the TV. Um, Normally, at least for me, I will go through and every year it's like my yearly tradition to make it with my family. We usually make fudge, so I made a batch of like peanut butter fudge and Oreo fudge. And gosh dang, the Oreo fudge didn't even last like, gosh, I want to say like 5-6 days. It's pretty bad. I went through that mess pretty bad. I still got some peanut butter fudge downstairs, so I'm like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna run down there and get some. But yeah, I've been doing that. That's been pretty good at my work. We had like our little Christmas party exchange thing now, and it was really good because my boss managed to bring in like some Chick-fil-A. It was like a whole platter of like chicken nuggets and stuff, and then yeah, it was a whole platter of chicken nuggets, and I was like, oh, okay, that was really nice. I had a whole tray of like the cookies, like the chocolate chip cookies that they sell. I was like, man, I hadn't seen that many chocolate chip cookies in a hot minute. I went through and I had at least like two myself. Normally, I would only get like one if I ran through the restaurant, but I was like, man, if they're all laid out here in front of me, I had two of those jokers. And then I had it was like a good chunk of their mac and cheese though, so that was like our holiday party thing. And then we did like the Secret Santa thing, so everybody got a gift within like, oh, what was our budget? Like $15? No, $20 was our budget. So pulled names and stuff way before that. So we did our exchange and stuff though. So it was all really good, fun little games though. And then I'll tell you this as a funny story, Steven. No, so we had Secret Santa stuff, and we all exchanged gifts and stuff like that though. But then there was like one other girl I'm close with, like real good friends with, and I was like, you know what? I was like, she had a really rough year. You know what? There's one thing that she was always clamoring about. She always wanted to get. So I was like, you know what? This is my goodwill gift. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give her this one thing though. So it was like in a tiny little old box. I won't say what it was, but I gave her a tiny little thing in this box or whatever though. And I was trying to be like super sly about it too, because I was like, because everybody else already did the gift exchange thing. I was like, all right. I was like, I don't need them seeing all of this extra stuff though. So I was like, let me try to do something a little clever. I set the little thing with like a little note so that way she can see it like whenever she opens that up on Christmas Day or whatever though. I just let the like like if you're hopping in the car, just like on the driver's side, on the bottom left side, it could have just been like right there, right? Like normally if you hop in the car, you would see it, right?
Yeah, I get
So,
what you're saying.
yeah, so it was really small, but I thought it was like within reason where she could see it right before she had to hop out because she had to travel all the way over to like a different city to work at a different location because it's a whole management thing with work. But I ain't going into all of that anyway, though.
Yeah, I
So she
get
should
you.
have saw that mess. And then I was like, okay, she just left the building and stuff like that. I ought to get a text from her saying, oh, thanks for the gift and whatever, though. 1 minute turned into 5, turned into 10, turned into 15, turned into 30. Not 30-ish, but I was like 20. I was like, oh no. I was like, I don't think this girl saw this mess. I was like, oh yeah, gotta be kidding me. And then lo and behold, it was like
Uh
25, 30 minutes later. She was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the gifts and stuff. I was like, oh no. I was like, I started shaking my head crazy because I was like, oh my gosh, this girl over here drew drove I don't know how far down the road to where she said, oh, I had to get some gas before hopping up on the interstate or whatever though. But she was like, "Oh my goodness!" She was like, she had to pull over into the median turning lane just to see the gift or whatever. Though she might have just like reached her arm around it, like lowered the
hey,
window,
listen.
grabbed it. And I was like, "Oh my gosh! I'm glad it did not fall off the car."
Some people are just very tired after a day of work, Zard.
No, this
Some
is
people.
halfway in the day. This ain't the end of the day. She was only at work for
Some
three or
some
four
people are
hours.
okay.
I
Well,
know, I
guess
know,
what?
I
Some
know, I
people
know.
are very
I
tired
know she's
too.
very tired too. It was more like she said she was in a rush, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, thank goodness she got everything now. And then I was like, wait. was the thing not damaged, didn't get shifted around, hit the windows in some kind of way? And then also, did you see the note? And she was like, wait, a note? I was like, I slapped my head again. And then she sent me a picture of that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she was
At
like,
that point, just yeah, I just give things to people. I don't like relying on
I was
chance.
like, oh, I'm glad that. I mean, there wasn't like nothing super valuable up in that. It was just more like encouraging words and all of that stuff. But it was like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad that didn't fly down the road because she said she was whipping like 75 miles per hour. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, though, rest assured, she's saving to open that one up till Christmas. But in that letter, or even on the outside of it, I told her, say, don't open this until Christmas. Lo and behold, she actually opened up the gift because she got the gift first before seeing the
Wow.
note. And I was like, oh gosh, knowing my dumb luck. This is the reason why, like what you said, hand give it. I was just trying to be funny and fly about it though, but I was like, whatever though. Anyway, long story short, that's my little Christmas story of the year. I don't think I'm gonna have a crazier moment than that. I mean, granted, yes, we still got 3 more days till Christmas. A lot of other crazy, funny stuff could happen, but that's all I had on the docket at least right now.
I gotcha. Now I just got all my coworkers stuff, and like I didn't go crazy. I got all of like the main managers at my job like one gift each, and I think I'm hoping they're going to like it. Just one gift for each of them. No, nothing crazy. Either way, though, like regarding my presents, I'm spent. I've gotten way too many gifts for people, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop for now. And it's like there's gotta be a point where enough is enough because it's gonna start like, a, yeah, it's gonna really affect me going into next year.
No, that's the reason why I always set aside a little bit of money from time to time throughout the year. So
I
that way, by
should.
the time I get here, I know what my balance is for my family members, the two different Secret Santa exchanges, and the occasional gifts like what I just described there that I'm able to do on the side for a few different people. And it won't hurt me at all whatsoever. The things that almost kind of did, Steven, was when I went out of pocket and did that mess on the TV, but that was back in November, so that's fine. That's not the December budget. And then when I got the tablet and stuff like that, I can only do so many of those kind of purchases. But I usually try to plan for this way out in advance so it doesn't just sneak up on me like what you're describing right now.
Yeah. I don't do like a gift exchange like I was saying. Like I'm gonna give all my managers like one little present each.
Hmm.
But besides that, like I'm excited for Christmas. I'm gonna make my coworkers like a little like snack or something they bring into work on Christmas Day.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
yeah. And besides that, I am working on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which
Dang, that sucks. That
some people,
sucks.
but like I'm getting out of work at 1:30 and we're opening stuff on the night of Christmas Eve, so I'm not gonna miss out on opening stuff.
Wait, so what you said when you work on Christmas Eve? You saying you open like your traditional in the morning, but you get to leave at 1:30?
Well, I 7:30 to 1:30. I'm working a
Oh,
shorter shift than
that's
usual.
a half day. That's not as bad, thankfully. But
It's 3/4 of a day. It's 6 hours.
mm. No, yeah, because luckily I just managed to get it off. I didn't ask for it; they just gave it to me. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because I was like, I always do some stuff with the family. Like we always meet at my grandma's house like every year for our little traditional like extended family get together and stuff. And usually, all of the younger cousins they usually open up gifts on that day, and then all of us older ones we bring a gift and we do a secret Santa exchange. So it's not as taxing for all the adults. The adults still get to be a part of something, but then all the kiddos and stuff they get gifts from everybody. So that's how we normally do our stuff. That have food over and play some other kind of random game if we got time for it and stuff. So that's what we normally do on Christmas Eve. But that's in the later evening portions. But during like the actual day of Christmas Eve, it ain't nothing but just hanging out with just my immediate family and stuff, watching movies, and we'll play some games. Like it might be some games like on my Switch 2 or whatever. Because I don't know why, but like me and then my mom and then my siblings, we have a habit of playing like Mario 60, not Mario 64, Mario Tennis 64. Like I don't know why, but that's just been a good go-to game for everybody. But then also like the Ghost game on the Wii U, like we can actually do it with my whole family of 5 and stuff though. So yeah, it'd be a
Oh, the
combination of that.
Nintendo Land.
Yeah, Nintendo Land. Yeah.
Oh,
So it'd be a
nice.
combination of stuff like that, board games, watching movies, and just eating a bunch of food and sweets, and that's basically the whole Christmas Eve luau of things and stuff.
I gotcha. No, that seems fun though. I hope you have a good time. Obviously, I'm gonna do some fun stuff with my family. I just don't exactly know like what we're gonna do yet. It's really just up to like my up to what time like my dad and them like wake up. I might get out of work at 1:30. They might still be laying down. We're
Dang.
gonna go over. I think we're gonna go over my stepmom's like aunt's house,
Hmm, okay.
and we're gonna like that's at nighttime. We're gonna like do stuff there. Yeah, there's a couple things they have planned. I, for one, am going to definitely enjoy things being a little slower at my job afterwards.
Hmm. No, yeah. Hopefully it's slower for you. At least with me and what I do, I was like, no, this is gonna only pick up, and I was like, ugh. So I gotta enjoy my days off whenever I do get them off, though. But yeah, overall, I'm really looking forward to this Christmas. It's almost here. I only got to put up with work. This is Sunday night when we're recording this. I don't know when I'll put it live, but it'll be live either on Monday or that Tuesday. But yeah, I got to work that Monday and Tuesday, and then after I get home from work on that Tuesday, that's it. I get to stay up late. Oh, I was about to quote Shrek for a moment though. I can't remember exactly how that line goes. It's like, oh, you know that part, Stephen, when he's like, we can stay up late, so the man on the stars in the morning, I'm having waffles. Or however he
Yeah.
words that. But yeah, no, I get to stay up late, play games and stuff, enjoy myself. I'm really looking forward. I just got to put up with 2 more days, and I'm home free, as the Grinch says. I'm home free.
Well, yeah,
Have,
I work tomorrow and I'm off Tuesday at least, so I'm gonna enjoy Tuesday definitely before all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. So we talked about foods, that holiday tradition, stuff like that. Movies. I know we talked about it in previous years though, but what's the go-to movie for you?
Home Alone.
I think I remember you
Home
saying that. Home
Alone.
Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone, then Polar Express as a close second. Like, can't go
It's something
wrong with
about the
Polar
Polar
Express.
Express, man. I don't know why though, but like seeing all those characters and stuff like that though, and then seeing that, I don't know what that dude's name is, the snobby
The
dude that has
Nerd.
like, yeah, the nerd, man. Like I
I
don't know,
love
like,
him. He's
oh
fucking
no, that
awesome.
dude's weird, man. Like it makes me feel
He's
uncomfortable.
yeah,
I don't
he is
know.
weird, but he's like a good weird.
Oh man, whatever.
I love that movie. Home Alone and Home Alone 2 were obviously classics. I can't ever go wrong with those. There's this one Netflix movie that they made a couple years back, I think 2019. It's just called Claus, like Klaus,
That
and
sounds familiar.
it's animated like in a really cool like hand drawn looking way. And it's a beautiful movie and it's also like a really good movie just for like for an emotional Christmas story. I like it a lot. So that movie is really, that movie's really good, and I haven't watched it in a while. And besides that, there's obviously Christmas episodes of TV shows that I'm gonna go back and rewatch. Tons of those throughout like the entirety of like shows that I've watched in the past. So many good
Yeah.
cartoons with Christmas episodes. I'm gonna definitely watch some of them.
No, yeah,
And then
definitely
there's
should.
I'm gonna maybe actually watch that Guardians of the Galaxy
I
holiday
was
special.
just about to bring that mess up, Steven. If you do not watch that within the next few days, so
I
help me,
know,
you will
I
get a
know.
kick out of that. And there's that song, man. Oh man,
Yeah,
what was
there's a
that?
lot of. I
I
guess I'll
don't
bring
know
it up.
what
I'll bring it up
Christmas
real
is,
quick.
but Christmas time is here. Man, oh gosh, that's got to be an instant. You know how most Christmas songs are, like people hear that it's all right or whatever. Though, give it enough time, and the Marvel community, they're just gonna run off with that mess. I'm telling you now, like 10 years from now, that's gonna be playing out on the radio and stuff, like right there next to like Mariah's Carey "All I Want for Christmas" or something like that. That has a lot of potential up in there. It makes fun of all the weird stuff that you would normally see in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie and stuff like that. Though, man, oh man, that's a classic right there. I put that thing on blast and played it for like a solid almost 30 minutes when we first got to this holiday season
Yeah,
time. I was
and
like, man,
I don't really have a good place to put this, but like there is well, there's not a lot, but there is some Marvel stuff happening next year, which we did. I don't know. They released a teaser for Doomsday, technically, officially. Are we allowed to talk about that?
What teaser are you talking about?
The one that was in theaters. Have you not? If you haven't watched it, we'll talk. We'll just talk about it in the next podcast then.
What
But
the
in
heck? No,
theater,
I hadn't seen no teaser in theater for Doomsday. What?
if you went to go see Avatar, you got a teaser for Doomsday.
Well, is it public knowledge yet or not really?
Well, it's public knowledge where
No,
everyone.
not
I'm
not
surprised you
public
haven't heard about it.
knowledge, but like publicly, is the teaser out there where you can easily see it?
If you go see Avatar, you will
Now,
see.
okay, that's the reason why you have to go to Avatar to see it. But it's not like there's a
Yeah.
trailer like on Twitter or on YouTube or something like that where you can
Well,
look that up.
no, not officially
Okay,
released
then
by them yet.
that's okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I hadn't heard about it. Okay,
Okay. Yeah, well, just it is out there. Just letting you know. Maybe go see Avatar.
I might.
Either way,
I mean,
though,
because my family
I
usually goes to the movie theater sometime between Christmas and New Year's and stuff, and maybe because I think they want to see the Avatar and stuff. So maybe we'll see.
But yeah, besides that, Brand New Day and Doomsday, Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday are both coming out next year, and I really do hope that they're good because I think they're the only Marvel stuff coming out next year, right? To my knowledge.
Movie wise, yes. Show wise, Daredevil season 2. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to that. I think Spider-Man's the animated thing is coming out next year as well. I'm really looking forward to that. I can't tell you how much, Steven, I love the heck out of that show. And I wrapped it up like a few weeks ago or something like that. You need to watch that mess, man. I'm telling you, it's as good as the
Maybe I
classic
will. I was
Spider-Man
just kind of I was
cartoons.
put off by the animation at first.
No, no,
Maybe I'll
no.
like
I
it.
kind of, well, I don't think I was put off by the animations, but I just heard like one snarky remark from somebody, and I was like, I'll get to it at some point. And I just really put it down because it originally came out in January of this year, and then I just finally picked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the bee's knees right here. I was like, this is it right here. I was like, man. I was like, I hadn't had that much fun with Spider Man since like them old cartoon days in a long old hot minute. Like we're talking about up there with Spectacular Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. Good stuff, Steven. Good stuff.
I'll definitely look at it. Did you see that they're just that one show Wonder Man that I actually thought looked
Yeah,
interesting?
that one was supposed to come out December this year, but I think it rolled out and it's supposed to be like January or February of next
Yeah,
year or
it's
something. Yeah.
it's lame. They're just all dropping it all at once. They're not even doing weekly drops. They're just like putting it
They're
on there.
treating that like Echo. I think Echo did the same thing too, where all of its episodes
Kind of
drop. I think.
kind of bullshit.
Mm,
I don't know. I'm actually maybe interested in that one.
yeah, I don't know. I hope that one's good. I don't know. It's weird the way how they've been marketing that stuff though too. I was like, I don't know. All right. Well, I guess outside of that, was there any other holiday traditions, Stephen, you wanted to mention? I think we covered mostly everything outside of
I'm
songs.
I'm curious, Zard. Do you have like Christmas music like playing at your job?
Yes, we do. And
I
the way
just
how we have ours in the rotation on the playlist, because it's something that's done by the higher ups, so it's not like we have real full control over it. They'll play a song, they'll play like a regular piece of music in between, and then they'll play another one. So it's not like constantly through a whole day. It's like sporadically.
okay. I'm just curious. How many times have you heard five golden rings? Because I'm getting
No,
fucking sick of
I
it.
know
I'm
that
going crazy.
that's just y'all. The only time I heard 12 Days of Christmas is when somebody in our group or something like that or at church where we were actually singing it ourselves. I don't think I actually heard it sung on the radio yet.
So
Surprisingly.
it's just yeah, I know because it's literally driving me crazy. Like every 5 minutes, I hear the damn song play again, and I'm at work for 8 hours. I'm hearing that song like 40 times a day for the last 30 days. I genuinely has just
Dude,
started to tune
y'all
it
need to
out.
upgrade y'all's playlist because y'all's are not like a franchise like my
No,
stuff. Y'all's a family thing. And I'm like,
we
ugh.
have a large playlist. We do, but the
They,
issue
you
is
just
that every
tone
time
everything else out and then just
it
only tune
keeps
into the five golden rings part and then it just goes on deafen again or something. I
yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, there's so many, so many other better Christmas songs, and we keep listening to Five Golden Rings. What is the song at your job that plays the most? Is what I wanted to know. And then what is
I
your
don't know.
favorite
I feel like
Christmas song?
everything has been kind of on balance. I mean, Mariah Carey's. I think I only noticed hers playing on the thing 3 times. Sometimes we get busy, and then I tune out some things. So I can't really
Yeah.
say one thing's been playing more than anything
It could
else.
just be a me problem then because oh my god, like I just every time it starts playing, I'm like, yep, here it goes again. I
But
don't hate it though. What's your like go to Christmas song? For me, it's probably like Jingle Bell Rock.
um, I like the Carol of the Bells, the one that's like the epic
The Rock.
version of it, the rock
Oh
version. The one that's
yeah,
like dun dun dun
I
dun 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 dun. Like it drops the bass is like dun boom dun. Like it's super. Or no. I'm no that no. I was thinking of a different version I heard today. No, not that one. The one that's like oh gosh, I got these two different versions running in the back of
I
my
know
mind
I
right
know what
now.
you're talking about. It's basically like if
Dun
Christmas was a
dun dun
volcano.
dun dun dun. No 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 no
Either
no
way,
no no.
either way, like there's tons of
Dun
like good
dun dun
Christmas.
dun 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 dun
Yeah, we're thinking of the same one.
that oh man that one gets me feeling some kind of way. I was like, yeah, that's when you know it's Christmas right there. That epic version. You wouldn't think that
I
version will
have
actually work, but like, oh
listen.
shoot.
I have heard that at my job a couple times, and it does make me work faster. It is a good song to like get like when we're busy, and I'm like, all right, I gotta lock in.
It's time to lock in. It's like the customers coming in. We gotta get these people in and out the door. I got to get paid.
It was a lot of a lot of good Christmas songs, but like probably Jingle Bell Rock for me. I'm just so excited for Christmas to be coming up. I just don't know.
Yeah. I just gotta make some time to watch gosh, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I watched part of it before I got called into work on some random old Sunday. So I still need to finish that. I hadn't sat down and watched Grinch this year. And Elf, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but those are usually like my tried and true three that I always watch, usually without fail every single year. And then obviously I'll see like sporadic ones of the claymation films and stuff, or like The Year Without Santa Claus, Santa Claus is Coming into Town, Jack Frost, all of those reindeer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all of those. Like I'll see those spread out throughout the whole year though, or not the whole year, the whole season. But yeah,
Yeah, there's tons of good ones. I always like watching the old animated ones, like you know, Year Without a Santa Claus is the one with Snow Miser and Heat Miser. I gotta watch that again.
dum 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 dum. I'm Mr. White Christmas, or I'm Mr. Heat Blister. I'm Mr. Snow. That's right.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
Mr.
just so good.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
so
good. It's
fucking
so
good.
good.
I think Christmas is by far the best holiday. I know I love Halloween, I really do, but like Christmas just got those vibes.
No, yeah, that's the best season. Christmas is always the best. Then I usually will say Thanksgiving because you get the food. Then I'll say Halloween because you can get all the candy. And then after that,
Yeah,
it's probably 4th of July.
probably Easter for me. I like doing the egg hunt. It's fun.
Hmm. I just like the fireworks. Good
Yeah,
fireworks
no,
show.
I get you. I get you.
But yeah, all right. I think we're about all tuned out now. I think we wrapped up all the holiday traditions and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had in store for the yearly and annual ZardCast Holiday Special. 2025, it was kind of crazy to see this year kind of come and go like this, though. I feel like every time when you look back at a year, it's like, dang, all of this stuff has happened, and it only felt like it was yesterday, or sometimes it feels like an eternity, like Xenoblade Chronicles X. That felt like an eternity ago. But then Donkey Kong Country Returns, I do remember, and that felt like it was yesterday, but that happened in January earlier this year. So it's really weird. I don't know though. But overall, good stuff happened this year. Got a brand new console with the Switch 2. Got some good exclusives along the way. Really great games with Donkey Kong Bonanza and stuff like that. Though Sony, it was kind of weird year though, but I did get my Ghost of Yote and stuff. got some cool things with Marvel, cool pop culture stuff though. Xbox is always trying to act like it's gonna get kicked by another dog, or it's gonna try to kick another dog every year. I don't know, but at some point, someone's got to put that mad dude down. I just don't know who it will be at this point though. Finally got my analog 3D this year. I'm blessed on that. Blessed. And overall, it's been a solid year. It hasn't been like the greatest of all years. You have your ups and downs though, but it's been an overall very solid year. Steven, you got anything else to add?
Merry Christmas, everyone, and I wish everyone a good 2026. I wish myself a good 2026 as well, because Lord knows I'm gonna need some good luck, especially in my finances after Christmas.
You already fallen in the. See, this is the reason why YouTubers don't put out a lot of videos in the month of January, because everybody already blew through their budgets business
Yeah,
wise with the ads and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I can fully understand it and see it now. Not a lot of consumers anyway also buying a lot of stuff in January unless it's the bills.
yeah.
I mean,
'Tis the season to be cheap.
yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And for all y'all out there that do New Year resolutions and stuff, if it's fitness goals or whatever, best of luck. And I hope you're not gonna fall in the statistic where you drop out of the whatever you're trying to plan by like the month of February or March. By the time it rolls around, stick to them goals. Stick to them goals, especially if it's fitness. You got to get in that routine though. All right. Well, that's gonna basically do it in terms of my ZardCast holiday special though. And if you really like this, make sure you go and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell. Stay up to date on all things video game related. I feel like talking about and discussing from everything from that and pop culture. So for me, from my co-host Steven, thank y'all so much for tuning in to all my podcast episodes throughout the year or any other videos you happen to be watching on the channel. I hope each and every one of y'all, whether you be with you, your family, your friends, or any one of your loved ones, wishing all y'all a happy Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you happen to celebrate. I just hope you have a great time this season, and I'm wishing all y'all the best 2026 as we're about to bring in the new year as well. Take care of y'all. Love y'all. And we'll see y'all next year in terms of the next podcast episode. I'll keep y'all informed on all my socials. So I'll see y'all.